In this video, I'm going to show you how to create the Moody faded red tone in Adobe Photoshop. And we can turn this image into something like this. Coming up. Hi everyone, I am Harshvardhan. Welcome to HarshVardhanArt.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create the famous Instagram viral effect in Adobe Photoshop, which is called the Moody faded red tone. And for this purpose, we will be using the Adobe Camera Raw, and you can literally do this with my free Photoshop action as well. That would save you a lot more time. But first of all, I will show you how you can create this look step by step at your own, and then I will show you how you can use my free Photoshop action to do this in just one click. And thereafter I will show you that how you can use the same preset in Adobe Lightroom and create the same effect in Adobe Lightroom as well. So I'm going to give you the free Photoshop action plus Camera Raw preset plus the Lightroom preset. So without further ado, let's get started. So let me first delete all of these, and I'm going to create a Photoshop action for this one. So let me create a group. Let me rename it, press OK, and create one action, rename it, and start recording. So first of all, I'm going to create a blank copy by pressing Ctrl-Alt-Shift-E, and I'm going to call it new. And then I will create a merge copy by pressing Ctrl-Alt-Shift-E, and then I would right click and select convert to smart object, and thereafter I would go to the filter and select the Camera Raw filter, or you can simply press the Shift Ctrl A or Shift Command A if you are using the Mac. And now we will go to the tone curves option, which is over here. And in the tone curves option, what we will do, we'll first go for the red channel, and then this is the highlighted area. So if we just drag it up, it's going to add the red color in the highlight, and this is the bottom area, and this area affects the shadows, and mid-tone is affected by the mid area. So if I click and drag it up, it's going to add the red tone, you can see in the image. And if I drag it down, so it's going to take away the red from the shadows. And similarly for the highlights, if I click and drag it down, it's going to take away the red from the highlighted area. But we are not going to do this because we want to add the red color in the highlight. So I'll just click and drag it to something like this, and then from the shadows as well, click and drag it to something like this. So you can see it clearly. Let me just resize it, and then we will go for the green channel, and let's click, drag, and take it away from the shadow area, and in the highlights maybe a little bit, not that much. And then let's go for the blue one, and let's take it away from the shadows. So we'll click and drag it towards the right side or towards the bottom side, and let's try for the highlight. And I think we'll not touch the highlight, we'll keep it as it is, and then we will switch back to the RGB channel. And now we are going to create a S curve over here. So for that purpose, make sure you are in the point curve, not in the parametric curve. So go for the point curve, and then we need to click once over here and once over here, and now click and drag it down, and from here click and drag it up and bring it down to something like this, and then click and drag this up. So what it is going to do, this is going to create the faded effect in the shadows. So let me show you. If I click and drag it back, you can see we have lots of darkness, and if we drag it up, it's going to fade the shadows. And let's adjust this point a little bit because you don't want that much of contrast in the image. and maybe something like this is just fine. You can adjust this point according to your image, and it might work differently for different images. So after doing this, we'll come down over here, come on the HSL panel, and we'll bring down the saturation of all the colors except red, orange and yellow. So we'll take down the green, aquas, blue, purple and magenta. Though this image doesn't have the any other color available in it, but still we want to use it because we are going to use the same preset for other images as well, and in other images you might have the different color. So we want to create this effect, so that's why we are bringing down the saturation of all the colors. And then comes the hue. So if you want to adjust the hue of any particular color, you can do that from here. So you can adjust the hue of red, orange and yellow if you want to, but I'm not going to do this. Let's go for the luminance panel, and here we can make the colors lighter or the darker. So let's add a little bit red and orange, make it little bit lighter, and yellow. So we are going to make it little bit lighter. All right, and then what we'll do, finally it's almost ready. So we'll go to the basic panel, and here in the exposure panel and the contrast panel, will bring down the contrast. So what it is going to do, it is going to create this faded effect, something like this. And then we can bring down the saturation if we want to. So we'll bring down the saturation of this image a little bit, not that much. And if we want, we can adjust the temperature of the image as well, but we are not going to do this, and we'll save this preset. So we'll go to this hamburger menu, this menu, and click here and select the save settings, and that's going to launch this dialog box. So here you can just leave it as default and then select the save, and then over here just give it a name. So I'm going to give it a name, Moody Faded Red Tone HarshVardhanArt.com, and then save it. And by the way, you can download all the presets, actions absolutely free from my website HarshVardhanArt.com. Link of that is in the description section below. Go ahead and check that out. So let me just save it, and it has been saved, and thereafter we'll press the OK button. And now we'll come to the adjustments layer, which is over here, and we'll select this exposure adjustment layer. And here we have three options. One is for exposure, one is for offset, and one is for the gamma correction. So we'll first adjust the offset. So we'll take it towards the right side a tiny bit. If we take it too much, you will see that we are going to get this kind of effect, which we don't want. So we want a little bit of fadeness in the image, and then we'll adjust the gamma correction. So we'll take it and drag it towards the left side, something like this, and let's adjust the exposure. Let's bring down the exposure also a little bit, and then if you want, you can add some vignette effect, which I forgot to add. So for that purpose, what you can do, you can just click on this smart raw filter, just double click it. It's going to launch the camera raw once again, and then come to the FX panel, which is over here, and bring down this amount towards the black side. So what it is going to do, it's going to add the blackness over here around the corner, something like this. And we need to reset or resave our plugin. So we'll click over here on the hamburger menu and select the save setting and save, and I'm going to give it the same name and press save. It's going to ask you want to overwrite it. I'm going to say yes, and thereafter we'll press OK. So now we have got this kind of a effect, and then what we'll do, we'll select both of these two layers and press Ctrl G, Command G, and rename them whatever we want. All right, and then we can just stop this action by clicking on this stop button. So until now it was doing everything we were doing. All right, so now our action is also ready and our effect is also ready. So if you want to see how your effect looks, so you can see this is before and this is after we have created this Moody faded red tone in Adobe Photoshop. And let's try it on another image, but before that I want to show you how you can now use this action very quickly, and you can create this effect that would take literally seconds to do this. So let me just delete this effect, this folder, and come to the actions and select this action, Moody faded red tone action. And if you have not created this action and you want to use my free Photoshop action, you can download that from the link in the description section below. That would take you to my website and you will find this action, Moody faded red tone, Lightroom preset, camera raw preset, and the action. And thereafter what you have to do, you have to go to the Windows and select the actions, and that action panel would be opened, and then you need to select this on hamburger menu and select the load actions, and then you need to browse that folder whichever you have downloaded from my website HarshVardhanArt.com, and then you need to select the load action, and that way that action would be available over here. And thereafter you have to just click on the play button. So let me show you. If I click the play button, boom, within 2 seconds it has created this effect very easily. Earlier it was taking lots of time because we did it manually, and now let me show you how this works on another images. So let me find another image. So let me show you how it works on other images. So let's open this image, select the action and click the play button, and boom, you can see. And if you think that it is overdone, so you can lower down its opacity from here, and if you want to modify it, just click on this folder, open this folder, and you will see this camera raw filter. Just double click it. That's going to launch the Adobe Camera Raw, and then you can just do whatever you want, or you can adjust all these settings from here. If you want to lower down the saturation of red color, just do this. Because every image is different, that's why I made this action or preset customizable, so you can just customize it according to your own liking. All right, so you can see this is how we have turned this image into this Moody faded red tone in Adobe Photoshop. And let's try it on one more image. Let's take this one, how it performs on this image. So let's select the play button, and boom, so we have got this effect. All right, so once again, if you want to download all the actions and presets, just go to my website HarshVardhanArt.com and just download this preset, this Photoshop action, camera raw, and the Lightroom preset. And now I will show you how you can use this in Adobe Lightroom. So for that purpose, let's launch the Adobe Lightroom Classic, because it's not going to work for the Adobe Lightroom 4 version. So it works with the Adobe Lightroom later version, so which has the CC version. So let me launch the Adobe Lightroom Classic CC, which is now called the Classic. Earlier it was called the Lightroom. Alright, so now we have launched the Adobe Lightroom. So you need to come to the develop module, which is on the top, and thereafter you need to come over here on the left side and select the preset and click on this plus icon and select import preset. That's going to launch the Windows Explorer, and then you need to just find out where you have downloaded that preset. So that is an XMP file. So you will see this kind of a file in the folder, Moody faded red tone XMP file. Just click over here and select the import button, and that's going to import that preset. And thereafter you will see that it would be available over here, Moody red tone, or where is it? Alright, Moody faded red tone over here. So what you can do, just click over here, and that's going to give you the instant look. And if you want to modify it in any way, so you can just do it from here. So you can just adjust all these settings from contrast, like if you want to have the less contrast, or you want to open up the shadows, or you want to have the low saturation, and if you want to adjust the curves, you can see these are the curves. So select the tone curves, and if you want to adjust it, you can do that as well. Alright, so let's try on another image, this one, and let's go for the Moody faded red tone, and let's try it on this image. Let's go for Moody red tone, and boom, we have got this effect. So you can use it on Adobe Lightroom, Adobe Camera Raw, or you can use my free Photoshop action. So now let me show you how you can use this on Adobe Camera Raw. So how to install this preset in Adobe Camera Raw. So for that purpose, you need to go to your PC, this PC, and thereafter need to go to the C drive, and in the C drive you will see the users. So select on the users, and here you will see your username. So my name is Next Level, so I'll go double click it. That's going to launch or open this folder, and thereafter you need to first enable the hidden files view. So go to the view and select this hidden item. So click the hidden items, and then only you will see this folder app data. So just double click it. That's going to open up the app data, and then you need to come to the roaming, and in the roaming you will see the Adobe folder. Just double click it, and then you will see Camera Raw. So just double click it, and then you will find the settings, and inside the settings you have all these presets. So what you have to do, you need to just copy this preset, XMP preset, and place it over here. Just press Ctrl V. I already got it, so I'm not going to overwrite it. Alright, so I'm going to skip all. Okay, and that way when you will launch the Adobe Camera Raw, that would be available inside it, and that would be available in Adobe Lightroom if you just launch the Adobe Lightroom Classic CC. This was it. This is how we can create the Moody faded red tone in Adobe Photoshop, Lightroom, or Adobe Camera Raw. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button. If you did not like the video, hit that dislike button. If you have any question, or if you want to say something, leave that in the comment section below. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please consider subscribing. So thank you so much. Bye bye. See you in the next episode. Till then, keep shooting and unleash the creative.